How does your day start? I mean, after you've got up, washed your face, and got dressed. Breakfast? And in 9 out of 10 houses, that means a breakfast cereal. Maybe one with a sign like that on the packet. Come on, I'll show you some breakfast cereal. Breakfast cereal. Over 3 million boxes of it. It looks a lot, but in fact, there's only enough cereal in this warehouse to keep the shop supplied for 10 days. Day after day, 7 days a week, this warehouse is restocked from the Quaker factory next door. And here's a cereal that you might not have seen before. It's a brand new one, Golden Oaties. Not bad. Mind you, it isn't really designed for me. It's a cereal that's intended mainly for children. It's for you to eat. But where did it come from? Who thought of it? Who designed it? Who made it? Well, to answer all those questions, you really need to go back 6 years. You'll need a number of experts from the Quaker company, food scientists, engineers, selling and advertising experts. And you'll also need something like £10 million to spend. And this is the task that faced all those people. How to take a cereal like this, oats, how to remove the inedible parts, how to mill it to form a basic oat flour, and then how to cook this flour to change it to an exciting breakfast cereal. And this is what you end up with. A crisp biscuit, which is the starting point for the new cereal. It's crisp, all right. Crunchy too, nice with milk, I expect. But it probably needs just something else if you're going to like it as well. But Quaker scientists can soon sort that out. Part of the scientists' work was to experiment with a range of sweet honey coatings. This is done in the laboratory using much smaller machines than would eventually be used in the factory, and only a few biscuits for each experiment. Well, can you explain to me what you're doing here?
Yes, well, there's biscuits in the machine, and we're coating it with a syrup solution.
Coming out of this spray?
From the spray.
Yeah. How do you know how much syrup solution to put on the biscuits?
Well, it's largely a matter of trial and error. You can either have too much, which probably this case, where you're losing syrup and there's too much on the biscuit, or too little where it'd be patchy.
But how do you know which the precise right amount is?
Oh, once you've got down physically how much you need to get the right sort of product, they make a range of products and they go through testing to see what people think and what they want.
This is one of the vital stages in developing a new food, the tasting. The scientists here are concerned with one central question. Which cereal will you like best? These are the samples for test. 4 portions of Golden Otis cereal, all slightly different because of a different thickness of crisp honey coating. And to make sure they can concentrate on the task and not be distracted by people around them, the testers sit in private cubicles through there. Right. Don't eat before testing, okay? Make sure your hands are clean. Fine. Clean your mouth before each test. Right. First sample, here we come.
2 samples of Golden Otis today. Would you have apple and water before and between samples? This is your first sample.
Right. Appearance. Do I like the look of it? Yes. Like very much. Aroma? Smell. Sweet. Pleasant. Okay. And flavour. Time to add the milk. In some cases, the scientists here would like their testers to concentrate on the taste of the food, the flavour in the mouth, whether it's crispy or crunchy enough, and not to worry what the product looks like. One way to do that is to make all the products look the same by using different coloured lights. Red, maybe. Now for the second sample.
1 cupful of wheat flakes. And 1 cupful of cornflakes.
These young scientists are producing a range of possible new breakfast cereals using ingredients from their own kitchen cupboards.
Mix together.
They plan to prepare 6 new mixtures, all slightly different, for their testers to comment on. The basic ingredients for each new cereal are the same, but when mixed together, maybe they're slightly different. And to some, but not all the mixtures, are added slices of apple or dried fruit, raisins or sultanas. Some of the mixtures are fine, but others, well, not so good. Some of the cereals needed careful cooking. Golden syrup and a small amount of oil was added to this mixture, which had been left to toast gently. This would also need to be tasted and commented on once it had cooled down. In fact, it's not easy to find which mixture is the best. Tastes vary, but this one was generally popular. Have you ever noticed how many cereal packets have an empty space in the top, just there? Now, that doesn't mean that you've got less for your money than you're entitled to. Cereals are sold by weight, and this packet will always contain at least the weight printed on the top, just there. What's happened, of course, is the cereal content has settled since packing. It's shaken down. Now, this container of Golden Oaties weighs 139 grams. The same size container of puff wheat weighs 64.8 grams. And that's interesting, for both packets have the same volume. They would each fill the same number of bowls at breakfast time, but the Oaties are much heavier than the others. Simply manufacturing a new breakfast cereal is not enough. The Quaker Company also need to sell their new product. Golden Oaties float in milk. They stay crunchy. And it's this fact that Quaker use in all their advertising.
Upon the milky lake comes a new breakfast cereal from Quaker called Golden Oaties. Delicious honey-tasting boats of nourishing oats so crispy they float. Who's this cereal? The pirate fires at our tasty Golden Oaties, but not being as crisp goes soggy, he feels groggy and quickly sinks into the drink. And so our story ends on a happy note. Well, our Beyond's waggled, he's eating all the boats. Quaker Golden Oaties, the crispiest fleet you can eat.
What you have seen is just a small part of what went into the making of a new breakfast cereal. Much, much more work would have been done in the factory to improve the cereal itself, to make it in quantity, and to produce the package in which it will sell. And in the end, that cereal will need to sell. In some ways, the job of encouraging you to buy a new product is the job of a scientist. These young scientists are producing ideas for their advertising campaign to tell people about their new breakfast cereal. Posters. They would need to be colourful to catch your attention, and with just a minimum of words. Boxes for the cereal. The box needs to do two things. It has to be strong enough to protect the cereal inside it. And just as important, it needs to be attractive enough to catch your eye on the supermarket shelf. Posters, leaflets, packages, and of course, television. They're all ways of advertising, ways of letting you know about products and encouraging you to buy them. And the design for all this advertising needs to be considered, tested, altered, and tested again, just as thoroughly as the food inside the box is tested. Currently, Golden Oaties are only on sale in Yorkshire. They're still being tested. But in the first 6 months, Quaker Oats Limited sold the equivalent of 8 million packets throughout the United Kingdom.